Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Justice. I am joined by Terramaster, and today is Friday, which means it is the most fun day of the week as we get to look at the best case scenario for Amnael. Yesterday you saw the worst case, where we went into the planet theme for him. Today we are taking a much different and much more fun direction with things. You will see where we're going. It's going to be a lot around banishing and gaining effects from banishing and just some really cool stuff. Right off the top, I'm just going to get this out of the way and then we'll move on to the next card. Golden Homunculus we know is confirmed, so while it was in the worst case, it's also in the best case because it is guaranteed to be there. So I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to let you take the next card, actually, because I know you're actually a big fan of our second card here.
This is Amnael, the Fiendish Monarch. I like Monarchs. Monarchs are cool, and this one is actually a pretty cool effect. If it's Tribute Summon, you banish a spell from your graveyard and add a spell with the same name from your deck to your hand. Think Allure of Darkness, which is at 2. Think Foolish Burial. I'm stealing your meme here, but it's at 2. So that's for your powerful spells, which we have no spells limited 1, by the way. Isn't that crazy? For all your powerful spells in speed duels and any that we may get in this box, you're essentially just plus 1ing a powerful spell if you summon this mid to late game. That's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yep.
Alrighty, so our next card is DD Assailant. After damage calc, if it is destroyed by battle, you banish both it and the monster that destroyed it. Now, we are at a point in speed duels where obviously things are not always destroyed by battle, but a lot of times they are. DD Assailant is a cool card. It does have 200 more attack points than DD Warrior Lady. Warrior Lady is a little bit more flexible. The extra attack points of Assailant, in our current state of the game, I don't know if they're going to be super relevant. They can, say, get over something like a Spent Breaker, but that's seeing a lot less play now because...
Banisher.
And Banisher. It does get over Banisher. That is true. So there you go. Also, DD Assailant has a special place in my heart because I once manifested one into existence out of nothingness. I'm not going to take up this whole video explaining that story, but if any of you want to know, leave it in the comments, and if any of you ask in the comments, I'll put the story there. But yes, I once manifested a DD Assailant with the power of my mind. So
Speed duel players cheat so much they literally make up cards. All right.
I did. I really did.
Okay, let's move on to DD Scout Plane. Now this card is one I think is really cool. If it's banished for any reason, which means, you know, if you Allure of Darkness and banish your DD Scout Plane, oh my god, it's a dark monster, and then you special summon back in attack position. So literally your Allure of Darkness has no cost if you use this card with it. So that is really cool.
It is cool. The only thing you have to be aware of course, you're bringing back an 800 attack position monster, or 800 attack point monster in attack position, usually during your own end phase. So, you know, be aware of that. But
yes.
Yeah, just the continually recurring thing can be neat.
Yep.
Speaking of continual recursion, we have DD Survivor. Now, it will not work off of Allure because of the way that it's phrased, but during the end phase, if it is banished while face up on your side of the field this turn, you can special summon it. You can only do it once per turn, but it does have 1,800 attack points. You can choose the battle position, only has 200 defense, but if for whatever reason you just want it for protection, you can defense. But again, something that just can continually recur, which is very cool.
Yep. So you attack into your opponent's set monster, you say, ha, nice warrior lady, idiot, and then your survivor just comes back. Either
they don't banish and you keep your survivor, or they banish and you get your survivor. So yeah, DD Warrior Lady Survivor is honestly like just the perfect answer to Warrior Lady. So no matter what you do, this thing's back.
Yep. It's nice. Speaking of DD monsters, that was terrible. When this card battles a monster, this DD Warrior, banish that monster, also banish this card. So weaker Warrior Lady without the option. I honestly thought we would get this first and then get Warrior Lady. But you know what? It's not too late. So it's part of the set of the DD monsters here, so why not?
Yep. Yeah, it
It
is usually worse than DD Warrior Lady, but we already have DD Warrior Lady, which means we're getting DD Warrior Lady. So enjoy. There's your reprint.
Oh yeah, there's
yeah. That was my spiel on DD Warrior Lady.
Okay, yeah, I got nothing to say about it. Yeah, just take the next one.
All right. DDM, Different Dimension Master. It's Terra Master's upgraded form, actually.
Upgraded. Oh man, that's
yeah. Well, you go from not just being a master of the Earth. You become a master of different dimensions.
Okay, understandable.
Once per turn, you can discard one spell card to special summon one of your banished monsters. Would be the updated text, but it says removed from play monsters because this card is old.
It never got into Rada, because why would you reprint this?
Yeah, until now.
Until now, true.
I mean, it does work with the theme, so here it is. But it is a tribute monster, which makes it kind of bad. But Foolish Reborn, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst thing in the world. You got your survivor that keeps coming back, or your scout plate.
Yeah, you have that, right? So
yeah, you got stuff.
Yep.
Speaking of stuff, Grandma Shoutout. I'm all over these transitions. This card was a lot of fun to play in some specific Duel Links decks for me. We don't have that particular deck that I love playing with this card, but don't worry about it. We'll get it later, hopefully. For now, this fits with the theme because you banish a bunch of cards. I wouldn't play a lot of this, but as your late game boss monster, it's perfect here because it gets bigger the more cards that are banished from your cards that are banished, not everyone's. So it is limited by that to a maximum of like 19 cards if you're playing a 20 card deck. But it can still get decently big with just 10 cards with 4,000, right? So
yeah, pretty sick.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it is a fun card. I agree, and it can get huge, which is enjoyable.
Yep. All right,
I'm gonna lump these three together real quick. We have the 3 Helios cards. So the first is Helios Primordial Sun. Its attack and defense are equal to your number of banished monsters times 100. Next is Helios Duo Magistus. It's a mummy with boobs and sun for a head for some reason. Why this is what they chose, I don't know, but here we are. You special summon it by tributing Helios Primordial Sun, so you can just normal summon Helios Primordial Sun and immediately tribute the special summon Duo Magistus. Its attack and defense equal to the number of removed from play monsters times 200. But if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, don't worry, totally fine. You special summon it during the end phase and it gains 300 attack and defense. And then our third one is Helios Trismegistus, who I think also has boobs, actually. So, at least we're consistent there. And you special summon it by tributing Duo Magistus. So if you have all 3 in your hand, you can actually just go to Trice in one turn if you want to. It's equal to the number of removed from play monsters times 300. By the way, it is both players' banished monsters, not just your own. And after it attacks, it can attack once more if your opponent controls a monster, so that's cool. Destroy by battle and send to the graveyard, special summon during the end phase, and it gains 500 attack and defense. So it can potentially get pretty large. So these cards are kind of fun. We don't actually think they're, great. We didn't put them in here because we're like, oh my god, this will be a meta threat. It's just, they are kind of signature cards for Banner/Amnael. And they can be fun. Their big problem is the destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard part when your deck is focusing on banishing everything.
Yeah.
So, that's the big problem, and I don't know if that was an oversight by Konami when they made these cards, or for some reason it was intentional. They just thought they would be too good if they only had to be destroyed by battle and, didn't have to be sent to the graveyard too.
Or the funny situation, it was a prank.
Yeah, so not sure about that. So these are probably the worst cards that we have in this list, actually. But they are signature Amnael cards, and someone's going to have fun building with them, so they're here.
Yep, they're here just for you, whoever you are who likes these cards and wants to test them. All right. Next up, we have another card we should already have, in my opinion. Burial from a Different Dimension. Target of 3 banished monsters, return to the graveyard. Very simple. Recursion for some of your graveyard effects. Could be potentially very good to, counter things that are used to disrupt your graveyard effects. I hope I said that right. Or also just to reuse graveyard effects. So yeah, good card. Moving on.
And good for unions.
Very good for unions. Good catch. All right.
Okay. Next we have DDR, Dance Dance Different Dimension Reincarnation. It is an equip spell, which is usually bad, but you discard a card, which is also bad. Then you target one of your banished monsters, special summon attack position, and equip it. If DDR leaves the field, destroy that monster. So this is neat. Again, it just goes along with the banished theme. It is a card that, saw some play here and there in older Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, it is just, it basically is a free special summon, right? When all you're doing is banishing monsters, and then you could just immediately special summon one in the back. It can do some pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it does have the discard cost, but again, this is one where you can use Scout Plane to as the cost, and then Scout Plane will come back too if that Scout Plane was banished when you discarded it. So, cool stuff going on there. You'd be like, how do you banish a discard cost, idiot? Be patient, you'll see.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. Now we have Dark Core. Oh my God, Terra Master, it's your favorite thing, spot removal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was supposed to say, you must be saying Terra Master is your favorite thing. I don't talk to myself. Don't worry about it. You discard a card target to face a monster on the field. Banish that target. Isn't that awesome? Spot removal that doesn't even destroy. Oh, this is amazing. This is everything I've wanted.
Machine Angel Ritual can't save you now.
That's right. All I had to do was to discard a card, but guess what? Your whole deck is about
triggers on this effect to destroy something on my fields.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
But now it's banished.
Now it's banished. It's gone. We did it. You fool.
Yeah, this card is okay, but compared to our current spot removal options, it's really good.
Yeah, exactly. It's why it's so exciting, even though it's just okay.
Yep.
All
right, we're gonna move on here. You didn't have to wait long to find out why your discarded monster is becoming banished instead of going to the graveyard. So we have Dimensional Fissure. Continuous spell, very simple. Any monster sent to the graveyard, banished instead. Easy, done. That's what it does.
Yep, that's it. So again, Dark Core. What's that? Discard cost? I have my Dimensional Fissure. I discard Scout Plane. Ha, GG.
Yep. Right. And then if your survivor goes to the graveyard for any reason while it's on the field, say if you tribute summon it, well, it gets banished instead. So now it's coming back in the end phase.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep. DeFi would be cool. Speaking of things that make DeFi cool, no, just kidding. Does not make DeFi cool. I didn't remember what it did. Okay, Grand Convergence, quick play spell. If you control Macrocosmos, you'd be like, oh, Macrocosmos, that's impossible. We don't have that. Yeah, look to the side. Inflict 300 damage to your opponent and destroy all monsters on the field. So, burn card, bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we get quick play Darkle. Huh. Seems good to me. Except better because they're getting banished because Macrocosmos is on the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you like Wildfire so much, this is better Wildfire. So, yeah. It doesn't even get rid of your Macrocosmos. You literally just have to control it. You want to skip to Macrocosmos?
Yeah, I was about to suggest that.
Yes, okay.
It is a continuous trap card. But when it resolves, the first thing it does, the most important part of what it does, is you can special summon Helios the Primordial Sun from your hand or deck. Terra Master from hand or deck.
Deck? No way!
Insane! But while it's face up on the field, any card, not just monsters, but any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead.
Yep. It's awesome.
Fits the theme. Very thematic for Amnael. It's honestly the first card that people theorize is getting with Amnael. It's like, well, play Macrocosmos.
Yep.
You're getting Macrocosmos?
Yeah. Macrocosmos would be awesome. It's basically other than Dimensional Fissure. It's basically the I don't know, catalyst, the key card, whatever you want to call it, for the whole strategy we have here, right? Except for the 3 Helios cards. Don't worry, ignore those.
But Macrocosmos special summons it from deck.
True. But other than those, this is what gets your Survivor to trigger. It's what pumps up your Homunculus, or better yet, your Grand Maju. It's what makes your Grand Convergence live. It's what makes your Banish pile ready for DDR, so you can dance to your beat. All right. I think that's enough about Macrocosmos. Let's go to our last card. Our last pathetic card is actually just the opposite of pathetic. That's right. It is a bottomless trap hole. We don't have normal trap hole, but I don't care. Bottomless trap hole banishes. It's part of the theme. We need more powerful spot removal. Congratulations.
And you know what? It still doesn't affect CA because they can just banish Machine Age Ritual, and then it doesn't get banished because it didn't destroy. So there you go. CA players, don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. But Joey players, haha, take that.
Worry.
Take that. All right. I don't know. I think this would be cool. A banished strategy would be unique. It would be, anti-meta for sure. Banisher is basically already that. It would just make that powerful, except like Banisher being played in what is just a ordinary kind of boring deck. It would actually be played in a deck that fits the theme around it, so that would be nice.
Yeah, and much more interesting.
Yep. So yeah, do you have any final thoughts on this best case scenario here?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, in the worst case, most of or a lot of Amnael's anime cards don't exist in real life, so we couldn't include them. But this is very thematic for him. It's very on brand for him. Given they did play the Macrocosmos and the Helios monsters and all that, so we just kind of leaned harder in that direction. So I think it makes a lot of sense for him. I will say, out of our best case scenarios so far, this is probably the lowest in terms of power level of, like, if you just made this deck, if this is what the deck was, what it would do compared to the other stuff. But I think it's on a power level that's, like, that makes sense for speed duels.
Yes.
It's nothing that's like, oh my god, this is obviously insanely overpowered, but, like, there are things that make sense. There's cards that could just be good on their own, things like, DD Assailant and that kind of thing. There's also, there is a strategy here if you want to build towards it. As you said, probably is an anti-meta thing. So, no, I think this is really cool, and I would be happy if Amnael's deck looks like this.
Yep. And this might be the minimum power creep, kind of, that you and I would want, I think.
Yeah.
This is about the bare minimum, and then the other best cases are, like, obviously the higher levels of that power creep. So, yeah, at least something like this would be nice.
Right, yeah. I agree. I think that's a good way of putting it. This is the minimum level of power creep we want to see.
Yeah, so, we gave you our best worst case, and now you saw our worst best case. So,
Yep. We did it.
There you go. Congratulations. Subscribe.
Nice. Alrighty, so I think that's all we have to say here. So that will do it for us today. Again, do leave in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see from Amnael's deck. Do you like our thoughts here of what we want to see? Do you think there's anything that's too good or not good enough? Any changes you'd like to make? What do you want to get in Amnael's deck in the Shadow Riders box? Let us know. But until next time, as always, my friends, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Good luck in all of your games, and we will see you soon.